I've always been a skeptic. A die-in-the-wool. See-it-to-believe-it kind of guy. Stories about Bigfoot. I'd just laugh them off. Folklore, campfire tales, nothing more. I spent my life in the woods, hiking, camping, and never once saw anything that couldn't be explained. That is, until last fall, the day my entire worldview was shattered and my heart was changed forever. It all started on a solo backpacking trip in the deep wilderness of the Pacific Northwest. I'd been hiking for 3 days, miles away from any trail, just me and the raw, untamed beauty of nature. The weather had been perfect, but on the 4th day, the sky turned a menacing shade of grey. The wind picked up, howling through the ancient pines, and a freezing rain began to fall. I knew I had to find shelter, and fast. I was scrambling down a steep, muddy ravine when my foot slipped. I remember a sickening crunch, a flash of white-hot pain, and then darkness. When I came to, my leg was twisted at an unnatural angle. I tried to move, but the pain was blinding. I was alone, miles from civilization, with a broken leg and a storm raging around me. Panic set in. I screamed for help, but my voice was swallowed by the wind. Hypothermia was a very real threat. As the hours passed, my hope began to fade. I thought this was it. This was how I was going to die. I must have drifted in and out of consciousness. The next thing I remember is a strange feeling of being watched. I forced my eyes open. Through the pouring rain and the dimming light, I saw a figure. It was massive, standing at the edge of the ravine, at least 8 feet tall and covered in dark, matted hair. My blood ran cold. It was him, the creature from the stories, Bigfoot. My first instinct was pure terror. I was helpless, a wounded animal waiting for the predator to strike. I closed my eyes, bracing for the end, but it never came. Instead, I heard the sound of shifting rocks and heavy, deliberate footsteps coming closer. I dared to peek. The creature was making its way down the treacherous slope towards me with an agility that defied its size. It reached me, and I could feel its presence, a mix of damp earth, pine, and something wild I couldn't place. It knelt down, and its face was ... not monstrous. The eyes were what got me. They were dark, intelligent, and filled with something that looked like concern. It let out a low, guttural sound, not a roar, but a soft rumble. It gently, so gently, nudged my injured leg with a hand that was enormous, yet surprisingly delicate. I was too weak and cold to even scream. It then did something I will never understand. It reached out, scooped me up into its powerful arms, as if I weighed nothing, and started carrying me. The pain in my leg was still there, but a strange sense of calm washed over me. I was being held by this impossible creature, and I wasn't afraid anymore. I felt ... safe. It carried me for what felt like miles, moving through the dense, dark forest with an unnerving ease. The storm was relentless, but its massive body shielded me from the worst of the wind and rain. I could feel the warmth radiating from it, a lifeline in the freezing cold. I remember looking up at its face, its long hair dripping with rain, and seeing a profound sadness in its eyes. It was as if it understood my pain, my fear. Eventually, it stopped. We were at the edge of an old, barely used logging road. It gently laid me down on a bed of soft pine needles under the overhang of a large rock formation that offered some protection from the rain. It looked down at me one last time, let out another one of those soft rumbling sounds, and then turned. Without a backward glance, it disappeared back into the forest, vanishing as silently as it had appeared. I lay there for hours, shivering but alive. My body was broken, but my spirit was reeling from the encounter. At dawn, the rain finally stopped. A park ranger on a routine patrol found me, drawn by the faint sound of my moans. He told me I was lucky to be alive. He could only explain how I'd managed to get from the deep ravine all the way to the logging road with a shattered tibia and fibula. They airlifted me to a hospital. The doctors, the rangers, my family, they all came up with theories. I must have crawled in a state of delirium. Adrenaline is a powerful thing, they said. I just nodded along. How could I tell them the truth? Who would believe that I was rescued by Bigfoot? They'd think the head injury was worse than they thought. But I know what happened. That creature, that being, showed me a compassion and intelligence that I, in my human arrogance, never thought possible from something wild. It didn't just save my life. It saved my soul. It stripped away my skepticism and replaced it with a profound sense of wonder and humility. There are things in this world that we don't understand, mysteries that defy our neat scientific boxes. I used to laugh at the idea of Bigfoot. Now, I see it as a symbol of the wild, untamed spirit of the world, a world we think we've conquered but have barely begun to comprehend. I was a man who believed only in what he could see and prove. Now, I believe there are ancient guardians in those woods, watching over their domain with a quiet wisdom we can only guess at. I've never gone back to that specific part of the forest, not out of fear, but out of respect. That is its home, not mine. I still hike, I still love the wilderness, but I walk with a different heart now. I walk with gratitude and a deep abiding respect for the secrets the forest holds. And sometimes, when the wind whispers through the pines, I listen closely, hoping to hear that low, gentle rumble one more time. My encounter wasn't a monster story. It was a story of rescue, of an impossible kindness from a creature that the world refuses to believe in. But I believe, because I lived it, and it changed me forever. Thank you for listening to my story. Please share your own thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing for more stories from the edge of our known world. Stay curious and stay safe out there.